On the day your child turns 18, something legally strange suddenly happens. Even if you're still paying for everything, tuition, rent, groceries, insurance, even if they're still in high school, you lose your legal authority to make decisions for them. Doctors might not talk to you. Hospitals might not give you any information either. And if your child is injured or incapacitated, you might not even be able to access their medical records. Most parents don't realize this until they're already in the middle of a crisis. Again, I'm Mike Dickerson. I'm your estate planning and probate attorney here in Texas. Today we're going to talk about college planning for the college-age children. Those of you who are getting ready to have your kids go off to college next year, or they're teenagers and you want to get ready and know what's going to happen next, you want to make sure you understand that things change legally and dramatically, and doesn't always make a lot of common sense. But there are ways to make sure you protect your children even once they're no longer considered legally children, and you're able to help them and make sure that they are given the guidance that they need during this time. And so I'm going to take this from the side of your 18-year-old. Somebody just turned 18. So in Texas, the legal age is 18, meaning when you can make your own decisions, where parents no longer automatically have authority to make decisions on behalf of their children. So this can affect medical decisions, financial matters, and access to information. We'll get more into that. Now, even communicating with healthcare providers is going to get more complicated when your child turns 18. So let's break down some of the different documents and concepts, and we can see how these different things may come into play. But first, let me give you set up the story. Your son or daughter has graduated from high school, they've gone off to college, and they get sick. They're in the hospital. Somebody calls you saying, hey, your kid's in the hospital. You call the hospital and say, hey, my son, my daughter is in the hospital, is there. I need you to tell me what's going on. If you're not in the same city, if you're not familiar, you don't have a relationship with that hospital or that provider, they might not be able to give you any information. First thing they're going to ask, hey, can you send over your HIPAA authorization? Can you send over a medical power of attorney so that we know we can talk to you? Well, if you don't have it, you won't be able to do anything. You won't be able to find out anything until you have that authorization. So under federal privacy laws, healthcare providers generally cannot disclose medical information without the patient's permission. So if your child is incapacitated, unconscious, they're not going to be able to give that authorization or that permission. So it's a catch-22. I can't tell you anything because your child's unconscious and can't do anything, but you can't make any decisions for them because you don't have authority. So it's really not a good outcome. But there is a very simple, straightforward authorization called a HIPAA authorization. This allows the student or your young adult to permit parents or any trusted individuals to receive this medical information and access to that to help make these medical decisions. Now, then that dovetails nicely with medical power of attorney. So how can now you need to help make medical decisions. Hey, do we do the surgery? Do we not do the surgery? Here's the risk. Here's the potential outcome if things go successful. Without a medical power of attorney, that college student is going to be stuck in limbo. And the decision made by the healthcare will be until there's an actual emergency and there's only one choice to make. So the sooner you're able to get ahead of the curve, the better decisions can be made, the more time we have for things to work out better. So without this document, family members will need to seek a court order before being able to be authorized to make healthcare decisions for your young adult. So that's one of the key important things that you want to make sure that are in place before your kids go off to college. A durable power of attorney. This allows trusted people to handle financial matters when necessary. So some examples include dealing with banks, signing documents, managing insurance matters. Even though they're adults and they're trying to be independent, adulting can be hard. And sometimes your 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds still need help and guidance, and may need you to take steps to take care of certain things that they don't know how to handle, or because they're gone to another state or a farther away city, there may be some things that require their signatures and their actions here in your local area, and you're able to take care of those things for them. So durable power of attorney, again, another very important document for the college student. Now, a lot of times we think, why do we need to have estate planning for a college student, for young adults like this? They don't have any stuff yet. Well, you'd be surprised. They have their phone. They have their memorabilia. They have different things that are very personal to them, that may be a good idea to even consider a very basic will. If they have things that they say, hey, look, if something happens to me, I want my best friend to get my Letterman jacket, or things of that nature. That's something to consider. I don't think it's necessarily a must do, but I think it's something to think about in the right situation. Now, there's one more document that I want to talk about, and it is a college information release form. So what is this document? This is the document that tells the college or university that your child's attending and that you may be paying for that you have permission to receive their grades and to get financial aid information from them. So especially if you're writing the check, you want to be able to know what the grades are. You want to be able to know, hey, am I spending my money on your education, but there are no grades? Or are you really attending classes? Or did you already get financial aid and you just didn't tell me and you're just keeping the money? Not that there's anything wrong with doing those things, but it's important that we're transparent. So not being able to know this information, even when you're paying, can be frustrating for parents. So it's important before they go off to university or college that this is all put in place so that you're able to take care of that. Now, without these right documents in place, all of these, any medical emergency can be taken care of if you got it. If you don't, that medical emergency just elevated to a crisis. But there is good news. The good news is these documents can be put together for you. We have a package in our office designed specifically for college students getting ready to go off to school, where parents are able to help and guide and have access to information. So a crisis can be averted. A minor situation can be resolved by a parent with a power of attorney. A problem with the bank, sometimes kids freak out having to talk to somebody, and sometimes at a young age, it's important for somebody to be able to have their back. So the key takeaway from today's episode is that when your child turns 18, the law now treats them as an adult, where we're talking about privacy and decision making. Now, if you as a parent want to stay involved in the medical and financial decisions, or if you need to stay involved because you're footing the bill for college and there's not really anybody else who's going to be able to make those decisions for them while they're off at university, because they're still dependent on you, you want to make sure you have the right documents in place. You want to make sure those things are set up so that everybody knows what's going on. And you're able to help and provide that assistance if it's ever needed. Well, if you found this information helpful, if you have somebody who's got college kids, or whose kids are getting ready to graduate and go off to college, let them know about this podcast. Share it with them. And if you did get some good information from here, follow our podcast to make sure you don't miss on future episodes where we discuss estate planning in every stage of life, and we talk about asset protection and making sure that your situation is adequately protected. And if you'd like to learn more, take a deeper dive on protecting your family and avoiding probate, you can go to my webinar called Bulletproof Your Legacy. We also have monthly live webinars where you're able to ask questions at the end of the program, and we try our best to get everybody's question answered online, or we'll get you an answer on an email thereafter. But I look forward to getting to continue sharing information on estate planning for all stages of your life, and making sure that you have gotten your estate plan taken care of, whatever stage in life you are. Until the next one, we'll see you. Bye-bye.